The Bodhigaraya is an enclosure which surrounds the tree of awakening, the Ficus religiosa or Bodhi tree. It is meant to protect the tree, which is treated with reverence among the followers of Buddhism. The Bodhi tree is an important part of Buddhist iconography, and the tree is recognized by its distinct heart-shaped leaves. However, in ancient archaeological sites, these Bodhigaras have been replaced by newer constructions. For example, the oldest documented living tree, the Jaya Sri Mahabodhi in Anuradhapura, has a modern fence which surrounds it. These varied creations tend to test the aesthetic sensibilities of any devout follower. To see the grandeur and excellence of a perfect Bodhigaraya created by ancient artisans working with stone, one has to journey to the middle of the country, to the town of Galgamur. Here, adjoining the Nil-lak-gama Vava irrigation reservoir, we find the best preserved example of an ancient Bodhigaraya, created entirely of granite. In the hinterland of the north-central area, ensconced by a verdant, tree-lined avenue and facing the Nil-lak-gama Vava, we find the remains of a compound which has the best preserved Bodhigaraya in the island. The site is dated between the time 9th and 10th centuries CE. Overrun by the jungle, the ruins were examined in 1895 by H.C.P. Bell, the first Commissioner of Archaeology in Ceylon. He created a descriptive note along with some drawings. However, it wasn't until 60 years later that Professor Senarat Paranivithana commenced and completed the restoration of this fine archaeological monument. The task was not an easy one, as the location had been vandalized and ruined by looters and treasure hunters. This 10-meter square building was restored in 1 year. There are 2 entrances which have been constructed, facing east and west. The entire site has a frieze of elephants molded in stone around the enclosure. There is also an inscription which runs along the front base of the Bodhigaraya, which states in medieval Sinhalese, Munaragal Budmi constructed 10 figures of elephants and offered them to the Mahabodhi. With the merit acquired, he wishes that he may attain the status of the Supreme Buddha. The entrance to the site is through 2 exquisitely carved door frames. These door frames and lintels have been embellished with floral and religious motifs, a restrained style of architecture to match the usage of the place. The entrance would have had decorative moonstones. Though the moonstones are still there, the engravings have worn out. Hence, unfortunately, the present-day visitor cannot visualize the style of the original stone doormats. Entering the Bodhigaraya, one sees the square area where the original bo tree would have been. It is a possibility that the original bo tree, which has now long since perished, was a sapling from the bo tree at Anuradhapura, planted during the reign of King Devanam-Piyatissa. Recently, villagers in the area have planted a sapling to replace the original tree, though it will take many decades to flourish and become a resplendent sample. There are 4 altars, or bases, placed at the 4 cardinal points around the enclosure. These would have been set up for the convenience of placing offerings along with flowers. The most striking feature of the site are the resplendent carvings of lion figures in different forms. These carvings are very distinct, though not garish, and add a regal touch to the stone structure. The ornate door frames also serve to perfectly frame some of these lion carvings and provide an added dimension. There has been a small dagaba behind the Bodhigaraya in times past, but has sadly fallen into ruin and been overgrown by the relentless jungle. Regarding this beautifully integrated work of art, Dr. Senarat Paranimitana states, "In its ornamental character, the structure of Nil-lak-gama is not surpassed by any other monument at the prasadas of Anuradhapura. No door frames so elaborately ornamented as these at Nil-lak-gama are known from any other site as early as the 9th century. A structure on which so much artistic effort was lavished must have been dedicated to an object of great religious veneration." The stone edifice of the Nil-lak-gama Bodhigaraya stands beside a scenic body of water and rural countryside. Though the centuries have exacted their toll on the structure, we still can marvel at the skill and style of the ancient Sinhalese stonemasons who crafted this magnificent homage to the Ficus religiosa tree.